December 4th, 2023, Rockstar Games stuns the world and out of nowhere drops Grand Theft Auto 6 Trailer 1, breaking records for game trailers and since amassing over 253 million views. But then the entirety of 2024 was silent with no official news at all. Just this past week, Rockstar confirmed a release date, but a delay until 2026, now coming May 26th, 2026. Whether directly related to this news or not, today, a random Tuesday at 9:29 a.m., well, you probably have seen the news. GTA's information drought has finally ended, and in a pretty solid fashion. We got a new trailer, a new set of details officially from Rockstar, and likely a ton of Easter eggs hidden throughout that we'll probably see dissected over the coming weeks as everyone analyzes likely every single frame. Now, I know that I'm probably the millionth person to come across your feed with this, but hey, I'm just as stoked as anyone and love to talk about the game with you if you haven't heard already or just want to see more. So let's talk about the world of GTA 6. Meet Jason Duvall. He wants an easy life, but things just keep getting harder. He grew up around grifters and crooks. After a stint in the army trying to shake off his troubled teens, he found himself in the Keys doing what he knows best, working for local drug runners, and it might be time to try something new. Meeting Lucia could be the worst or best thing to ever happen to him, though Jason knows how he'd like it to turn out, but right now, it's hard to tell. Lucia Caminos was taught to fight by her father as soon as she could walk, and since then, life's been coming at her swinging. Fighting for her family landed her in the Leonida Penitentiary. Sheer luck got her out. Lucia's learned her lesson, but only smart moves from here. More than anything, she wants the good life her mom has dreamed of since their days in Liberty City. But instead of half-baked fantasies, Lucia's prepared to take matters into her own hands. Fresh out of prison and ready to change the odds in her favor, Lucia's committed to her plan no matter what it takes. Jason and Lucia have always known the deck is stacked against them, but when an easy score goes wrong, they find themselves on the darkest side of the sunniest place in America, in the middle of the criminal conspiracy stretching across the state of Leonida, forcing them to rely on each other more than ever if they want to make it out alive. So the leaks and rumors appear to be shaping up true, a sort of Bonnie and Clyde type of situation to GTA 6 and the main story here, where dual protagonists have seemingly had a hint here. Though if that translates to dual character gameplay, we've not yet seen any missions or HUDs or anything like that, so just from gameplay trailers showcasing a bit of the world and the characters in them, Trailer 1 focused on more of Lucia, Trailer 2 focused more on Jason. But that jump back and forth is still on the table and honestly probably likely. Rockstar detailed the rest of the crew here where there's a lot of different new faces with a lot of different backstories. Cal Hampton is Jason's friend and a fellow associate of Brian's. Cal feels the safest, hanging at home, snooping on the Coast Guard comms with a few beers and a few private browser tabs open. He's at the low tide of America and happy to be there. Casual paranoia loves company, but his friend Jason has bigger plans than just that. Booby Ike, he's a local Vice City legend and acts like it, one of the few to transform his time in the streets into a legitimate empire spanning real estate, strip club, and a recording studio. He's all smiles until it's time to talk business. He might seem like he's out for himself, but it's his partnership with the young aspiring music mogul Draquan for Only Raw Records that he's most invested in. Now, they just need a hit. So Draquan Priest is described as more of a hustler than gangster. Even though he was dealing in the streets to make ends meet, breaking into the music industry was always the goal. He's signed Real Dimes and wants to move on up into the Vice City scene and not just booking acts at the strip club. Real Dimes, continuing off of that, following the thread a little further, consists of Baylux and Roxy, two friends since high school with a savvy to turn their time shaking down local dealers into cold hard cash via spicy rap tracks and a relentless social media presence. After an early hit from the local rapper Downplay took off, 5 years later and a whole lot of trouble, they're signed to Only Raw Records, hoping lightning can strike twice. That kind of wraps up that bubble of related characters, and then we move on to Raul Batista, where experience counts, his confidence, charm, and cunning. He's a seasoned bank robber always on the hunt for talent, ready to take the risks that take the biggest rewards. Raul's recklessness raises the stakes with every score, where sooner or later his crew will have to double down or pull their chips from the table entirely. And Brian Heater is a classic drug runner from the golden age of smuggling in the Keys. Still moving product through his boatyard with his third wife, Lori, Brian's been around long enough to let others do his dirty work for him. Brian's letting Jason live rent-free at one of his properties so long as he helps with local shakedowns and stops by for Lori's sangria once in a while. So the whole cast and crew so far has really started to take shape here, where you get a little bit of the piece of the pie here and kind of understand the players involved with this. But in Leonida, when the sun fades and neon glows, everyone has something to gain, but more to lose. Rockstar also detailed a few of the different locations and locales that you'll see around the world of GTA 6, such as Vice City, the Leonida Keys, the Grass Rivers, Port Gellhorn, Ambrosia, and Mount Calaga National Park. Vice City is your Miami, the glamour, hustle, and greed of America captured in a single city. The Leonida Keys are meant to be like the Florida Keys, dress code casual, bars loaded, people having a good time. The Grass Rivers is your wetland, gator territory, and a lot of different secrets. The port is Leonida's forgotten coast, it says, where cheap motels shut down attractions and empty strip malls won't bring the tourists back. Now it's home to malt liquor, painkillers, and truck stop energy drinks. Ambrosia is the heart of the state, American industry, and old school values. The sugar refinery provides the jobs, but the biker gangs kind of provide everything else. And Mount Calaga is the state's northern border, offering prime hunting, fishing, and off-road trails. Seen a lot of speculation that people think there's going to be the fishing mini game from Red Dead Redemption making a return here, which would be pretty cool if that's indeed the case. But GTA 6's world looks to be big, and that's the thing that really kind of impresses me here with what we saw out of the trailer. Obviously, many things impressed me out of the trailer, but seeing all of this here is the scale of it. Really impressive. Obviously, we don't know what the actual map and playable area looks like at a top-down perspective, but if the screenshot showing off the world or anything to go off of, there's not really any point where you're like, okay, this connects to that. Like, the horizon stretches quite far and you still can't see the next area. So that's pretty incredible to consider. Leaks suggested that it's quite larger than GTA 5's world, and at this point, I'm inclined to fully believe that. So what we saw, what was shown off today from Rockstar in trailer and in sort of like press release fashion, quite impressive, honestly. It was one thing to drop a trailer, but then another thing to drop entire databases of your characters, screenshots, all that kind of stuff. There were, I think, like 80 screenshots shown off officially here from GTA 6 and Rockstar. That's awesome to see. And again, on a whim at a random 9:29 in the morning on a random Tuesday in May. So yeah, it sucks we got a whole another year to wait for this here, but it sure looks like it's going to deliver next May. Now, the next big thing you may have noticed outside of like Easter eggs, which won't dive too far into this or anything, but sort of at a top level, was this will be available on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X as well as S, with visible mentions actually of being captured on PlayStation 5, which, just coming back to the trailer, really makes me admire the look of how great this looks on console. Like, that trailer looks incredible visually. So for me, it's probably time to upgrade from the base PS5 to a Pro to get the most out of that. The PC release, though, is one thing that I'm still not super hopeful for. I know a lot of people love to play games on PC, and of course you have access to even higher quality settings on PC. You have access to, at some points, mods and such you can put onto the game with PC. But the thing is, Rockstar doesn't really like to do PC releases all that quickly. Most recently, Red Dead Redemption 2, that initially launched on October 26th, 2018, while the PC didn't launch until November 5th, 2019, so a year and 10 days later. And GTA 5 was even worse. I mean, that initially launched on October 1st of 2013. Next gen, so Xbox One and PlayStation 4 at the time, launched on November 18th, 2014, over a year later after the initial launch, and then PC finally launched on April 14th of 2015, so a whole year and a half after the launch of the game. Personally, I would love for somebody to be like, oh yeah, they delayed the game a half year based off of when estimates were putting it beforehand, so maybe it's only a 6-month delay, but I'm still not going to get my hopes up too much. At the very least, again, with it being not mentioned on the reveal trailer, I'm not expecting that to be something that comes at launch for sure. But how far beyond that, that's just still a question only time will tell. That said, as GTA 6 and Trailer 2's breakdown and all the information we got along with it, I'm very much so looking forward to it. Again, I know that I'm probably like the millionth person you've seen talk about it here today, but I think that's just the GTA effect, man. It doesn't matter who you are, what games you main, GTA 6 is going to be that thing that is that sort of generational moment, whether it be console generation, across multiple at that point, or just in terms of like spanning a huge amount of time. I'm not expecting another GTA after this for another 10, 15 years. So like, that's one of those things that I think everybody can just come together and be like, yeah, this is it. So no, it's not COD, it's not Battlefield, it's not any other first-person shooter here that we regularly cover on the channel, but man, I'm excited. Will there be content on the channel going into the future? Maybe. Not entirely sure if this will be like a regular thing getting closer to launch, that it'll be main channel content or second channel content, but for right now, I'm just happy to be a part of the conversation. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you guys looking forward to GTA 6? Do you like what we saw today? What are your thoughts on the trailer? Drop your thoughts. But if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor, drop a like on it. Of course, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things maybe GTA 6 and other FPS content. I'd love to have you in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. Take care and peace.